Hey Burn Nation, welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. Today I'm going to share with you just the story of Burn and how we've gotten to the parking lot to over 100,000 members, which is such an exciting milestone that we've recently celebrated in our brand. So you've probably heard different variations of our story, whether it be through a podcast with Devin and I, or maybe you've read it on our website. But I thought I'd just take a moment to share from my perspective kind of where we started and where we're at today. And so 11 years ago in 2012, we started Burn Bootcamp in a parking lot. And we were in North Carolina, so Huntersville, North Carolina. And we got to that place because of my job. So I worked for the Kellogg Company, and I got promoted in 2011 up to Charlotte. And, you know, I'm doing my thing. I had no intentions of leaving that job. I loved what I was doing. I was excited to career path within the Kellogg Company. And Devin, on the other hand, was like, okay, well, if we're moving to Charlotte, I am going to start my own thing. I'm not working for anybody. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, the supportive girlfriend, I was a girlfriend at that time. The supportive girlfriend in me was just like, all right, whatever you need to do. You know, he had just been released from baseball. And he was still trying to figure out really what he was meant to do in this world. So he starts a boot camp in the parking lot. Why a parking lot, you might be wondering? Because at 24 years old, with not a lot of financial backing, actually no financial backing outside of my salary, landlords wouldn't even take a phone call with us. Like, there was no way. We had no business concept, no proof of, concept, no money to put down in a lease. And anything that we would even get an opportunity to look through was like 1,200 square feet, okay? And just to give you perspective, most of our gyms are around 4,500 square feet to 6,000 square feet. So that would not have worked with the model that Devin and I had visions for. And really at that point, it was Devin's vision. So he's like, okay, well, I guess we're going to a parking lot. So we went to a gymnastics studio, actually, and Devin convinced this man to let him sublease in the early mornings inside, because gymnastics studios, they don't operate early in the morning. They don't operate until really kids get out of school. So in the morning, he got to take over the gymnastics studio, and then in the evenings, he got to use their parking lot. So we subleased from there, a couple $100 a month. It was a really, really good deal. And we started in a parking lot. So Devin would take his car and he would play music from the speakers of his car. We went to Dick's Sporting Goods. We bought about $600 in weights and mats and some equipment. And we started Burn Bootcamp. There was nothing flashy about it. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just a really, really good workout, and it was, surrounded with a community and these women. So it started as fit community of moms because, growing up, Devin, he would always play baseball in the summers, and he would stay with host families. And he would really see at the core of, like, the average American family, like, their problems were just taking care of themselves, especially mothers, he said. It was like, all these kids would be in the house, and the mom would be putting everybody else first but herself. And the mom is such the leader of the home. So if you want a healthy diet, if you want your kids to eat healthy, they're the ones going to the grocery store. They're the ones that are leading the home. And so that's really why we targeted moms, because we didn't feel like there was anything out there for them where they could feel a safe space to go to work out. And, gyms are incredibly intimidating. I've experienced that myself, even at a young age, just walking into a gym after, high school and college, and really not feeling like I was in my place, right? That I was being judged by other women there, or personal trainers were, talking about me, or you just don't feel that confidence. And for me to feel that, I knew that we had to reach a space of giving that to women and making sure that whether you never worked out before, or you just had a baby in your postpartum, or, so many different fitness levels, right? That you always would walk into a Burn Bootcamp and feel like you belonged there and you feel like you're welcomed there. And so we got to learn so much in those parking lot days of what women go through. And it was before I was even a mom. I didn't have kids at this point. And so I got to hear what it really felt like to be a mom and to have to take care of kids and to have to take care of your families and have a job and balance all of these things and put yourself last. And so our mission and our message was always about empowering women and allowing them to build confidence, through fitness, but something that could give them the tools to also go home and build that confidence in other people around them. And so we went from a parking lot and to about 4 other parking lots in the Charlotte area in between basically 2012 and 2013. Again, because we couldn't afford it, but we knew that we needed to spread this mission, spread these communities along Charlotte. And Devin and I's first big visions were, let's open about 10 to 15 in the Charlotte market. We didn't really have franchising on our mind at that point. And when we finally started to really see some traction in our memberships, I think we had about 150 members, Devin was finally like, Morgan, quit your job. Like, let's do this together. Let's you can open one, I'll open one. And I was like, well, I need a ring on my finger. I'm not that stupid, okay? I'm a very independent woman, and you're gonna need to put a ring on the finger. So as soon as he got the balls to do that, we decided that, okay, we're getting married. And about 2 weeks later, I went into my boss's office and I was like, hey, I love my job. I love working here, but I'm going to join forces with Devin. And I had a wonderful team. They knew what Burn Boot Camp was. They knew what we were trying to build. So they were incredibly supportive. And I left my safe job, my safe career, and joined forces with Devin. And I opened my own gym, my own brick and mortar. So we flipped all of those 5 gyms into brick and mortars. So the first one was Huntersville. The second one was Cornelius. And that was the gym that I took over that community and built that up. Mooresville was next, and then Matthews in Denver. So we had 5 gyms in the Charlotte market. And we started to get people coming to us and being like, hey, like, this has changed my life. Like, I want to bring this somewhere. Like, how can I open a gym, a Burn Boot Camp? And Devin and I are like, wow, okay, we need to really seriously think about this. Like, are we gonna scale on our own, or are we gonna lock arms with other people that share this mission and that have felt this transformation? And so that's when franchising really became a new dream for us. And so we went from 2012 to 2015, we officially became a franchise. And within those first year, 2 years, we sold about 200 units, and they all came from within the system, right? So within our membership base, people, like I said, that had that transformation, that felt what they wanted to then transfer to other people. And so we kind of went from the Charlotte market, built that out. We went to the Raleigh market, built that out, Atlanta, and all of these people kind of started within our first 5 gyms. And we still see that today. We still, a lot of our franchise partners start as a member, feel that transformation, and say, I need to do this. I need to be a bigger part of this brand. So 2015, we became a franchise. And like I said, we really, our growth has been amazing in the last 7 years, almost 8 years. Well, yeah, it will be 8 years next month that we've been officially franchising. So we've opened 370 doors. We are in 41 states. We want to go global. We will go global. We are on a global mission to impact people's lives. And it's been such an amazing journey. I've been able to have 3 kids, raise 3 babies through the Burn Boot Camp system. And it's just so fulfilling to know that I am giving them something and giving them exposure to what community really should be and what positivity should be and what self-confidence should be. I have a daughter. She's 7 years old. And I'm so intentional about how I talk to her, about her body, about my body, about what it means to be confident. And the tool, it's not even about fitness sometimes, right? It's just about the people and what it means to empower one another and build each other up. And I wish so badly that I had that as a young girl and into my teenage years and my high school and my college years. And I was very insecure when I became a trainer at Burn Boot Camp. Like, Devin convinced me to do it, but I was so insecure. I was like, well, I don't look the part. I don't have a 6-pack. I'm not super toned. I can't go step on this stage and like win a bikini contest. Like, in my mind, I felt the pressure to be all of that because that's just what I was around, and that's what I grew up around. Like, stepping on a scale and being a certain weight and looking at the Cosmo magazines of like people with their sports bras on, and like I didn't have that, right? Now I like really want to knock myself out when I look back at how I did look at 24 years old, and I'm like, oh my God, like you're freaking beautiful, your body's beautiful, but I didn't feel that way. And I know so many women can relate to comparing themselves to what society shows us is healthy and what society shows us we should look like as women. And we have worked so hard to change that. And I truly think that we've made such a great progress, and there's still more to go. There's still more people to reach for them to feel that love and that community and that positivity and that self-worth and that confidence. Okay, we sell confidence here at Burn Boot Camp. I ask hundreds, thousands of members. They come up and they tell me, you know, I've lost this weight and I've lost this many inches and I'm stronger, and you know, they tell me like all the things that they've lost, and I always will ask them, well, what have you gained? And 9 times out of 10, it's confidence, right? It's just that they finally feel confident in who they are, how they look, what their body looks like, how they are as a mother, how they are as a friend, because they feel so loved and supported. And that's hard to find. It's so hard to find, and especially in a gym community. And so that's the mission that Devin and I are on. Yes, we do that through the vehicle of fitness. But what happens inside the 4 walls of Burn Boot Camp is so much more than just burpees and squats and pull-ups and double unders. It's about connection and support and community and love and positivity. And if we can do that inside those 4 walls, and we can take that outside of the 4 walls, the ripple effect that this can have on not only our current generation, but the ones that we're raising, I truly feel that we're gonna be able to change so many more lives. So 100,000 members, we just hit that milestone. I mentioned that at the beginning of this podcast, and that's such an exciting milestone. And you know, numbers are great, but it's about the impact. Like I just said, that 100,000 active members, I know there's been so many before that, but that 100,000 active members, what does that ripple effect look like? They're impacting their children's life, their husband's life, maybe their parents' life, the friends that they have, the way that they go about their day. And they're spreading that positivity, that confidence, and that community outside of those 4 walls. And just the ripple effect of what 100,000 members means is so special to me, so special to Devin, all of our HQ team. We are not done yet. There's still a lot more work to be done. But thank you, Burn Nation. Thank you for, if you're listening to this and you're a member at one of our gyms, thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for helping Devin and I build this amazing dream, not just for us, but for so many other people, all of our franchise partners. It's such an incredible feeling to know that we will leave this earth one day knowing that we made a positive impact. And even if it was just one person, it would be enough for me. So that's the journey of Burn. There's so much that's happened in between that story right there, but I will not bore you for the next 30 to 45 minutes. But thank you guys for listening, and always stay tuned for what's to come in Burn Nation. 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.